By now the dust is settling. The results of Frontier Unlocked are out there. People have had time to absorb it. The Panther Clipper, we finally have some decent specifications on it and a couple of builds. So we're going to tear this down, take a look at what's going on and see if it is going to meet our expectations. A lot of people are happy. There are always some people who aren't. So for as long as Elite Dangerous has been a thing, the words Panther Clipper kind of have sort of been a bit like Moby Dick, isn't it really? Often referenced, never seen. Frontier Developments hauled this Leviathan of a ship into view on the 25th of June and gave us a full rundown of what it was going to be having. And the reveal sent, shall we say, I wouldn't say shockwaves, but ripples at least through every corner of Discords, Reddits, Twitch chats, and whatever. Now I believe the first Panther Clipper kind of came into being around about 1993, Frontier Elite 2. I think that was it. Was it First Encounters, I do believe. That original boasted 2,100 tons of hold space, but the design vanished, right, since we went into the Hold Elite Dangerous area. Here we go. June Unlocked turned round and it's significantly less than its predecessor. Running shieldless, we're knocking on the door of 1,238 tons, and that's as it stands today. These could be subject to changes. We've had Frontier change things before, so, you know, until it launches, let's just see how it goes. Things to bring focus of, which I'm sure you've all seen, is the 8D Mark II cargo rack with a capacity of 384 tons. Fantastic, I tell you. Fantastic. The two Type 8 optional internal slots, one with the Mark II cargo rack, the other one they've got on the screen here with a standard cargo rack of 256. This is what Frontier is saying they're build optimized for cargo, which is very interesting. One point I'd like to mention, so if you can get an 8D Mark II cargo rack in the Class 8 slot, what about that other Class 8 slot then? Why can't you put one in there as well? Anyway, not to worry, there's also a 7D Mark II cargo rack as well. Brilliant! Is it down to the fact the ship can only cope with those two mass cargo racks? And if we've got an 8D and a 7D cargo rack, then are we in the future going to see another module, a 6D cargo rack, giving just that little bit more, expanding the Panther Clipper? That could be a good focus for a community goal, couldn't it? Or something to achieve to increase your optional internal cargo space at a whim. Now, as I mentioned, this is running shieldless. It's quality of life, right? It's a big old ship. I dare say it's going to be an expensive old ship. That's going to be a hell of a lot of cargo. You get ganked with that, or plant it into the face of a planet, you're going to be crying into your Lavium brandy. So, would, let's face it, a shield be good for us? I think perhaps it would do. But there's always going to be those opportunities where you're going to run, you know, back to the wall, shall we say, and go for the maximum amount of cargo space. So, let's look at it this way. We've got 2 Class 8s, 2 Class 7s, 3 Class 6, 2 Class 5, 1 Class 4. Yes, you got a 2 and you got 2 Class 1s as well. One with the Advanced Planetary Approach Suite in it as well. So really, it's kind of 1 Class 1, isn't it? The multi-crew, of course, you got 3 seats, including the pilot and also a fighter bay. So you can have people run a little bit of interference while you get your backside out of dodge should you be getting ganked as well. Something I found was quite interesting is around the range. The FSD range. Now, it's an SCO FSD. We know it's a big old beast. We know it's going to be lumbering around. It's going to have a turning circle of a small moon as well. But as they're saying, with the standard frameshift drive with SCO, unengineered, yeah, 13.09. You take away some of that precious cargo space and put a frameshift drive booster on it and then get yourself over to Felicity. you're going to get something decent, I would say. At least I think it would be decent. Something at least in the range. With a frameshift drive booster, is going to be in the range with engineering, knocking on the door about the low 30s. At least. One thing I would say about all of this, however, is you may want an advanced docking computer in there. I'm just saying, quality of life, that's all I'm saying. So looking at the core internals, and these are being confirmed, Class 8 power plant, and that's standard, you know, it's going to be overcharge friendly. Are you going to need it? Could you go a level below to increase your jump range and engineer the pants off it? Thrusters, Class 8, and it's got that lovely gimbaled animation going on with it as well. Frameshift drive, Class 7, of course, it's Super Cruise overcharge, and we discussed that earlier on in this video, so you're going to be able to engineer the hell out of that one. The power distributor, Class 7, and you know, we've had current community goals that have given us some pretty good ones. If you take the lasers and turreted lasers out of this and just go, say, for lead throwers, the multi-cannons, I reckon your power distributor with the new engineered ones that we had for the community goal might fit there as well and give you that little bit extra. And of course we've got sensors and life support knocking in with a Class 5, and that's kind of par for a super heavy ship like this. But here's the thing, size 8 thrusters on a freighter make the Panther Clipper Mk II perhaps the largest ship in the game that we can see. That can still accelerate and out-accelerate that Type 9 when unladen. So, you know, that is it going to put the Type 9 out of business? I think it is. Is it going to put the Cutter out of business? I don't think so. The Cutter I still think is going to maintain things with being nimble, moving volume quickly, as opposed to this just doing it all, say, in one hit. So let's talk about these additional lockbox compartments. So the Panther Clipper Mk II is going to be sporting some optional internals that we've discussed. So there's 2 Class 8, 2 Class 7, 3 Class 6, 2 Class 5, 1 Class 4, plus the planetary approach suite as well. And of course, you know, you're probably going to want to stick in, like I said, a docking computer. And that's all very good. One of those Class 7s and one of those Class 8s are locked in for things such as, should you want to put a standard cargo rack in there? Okay, but let's face it, you're going to want to put that optimized cargo rack in there, which is going to push capacity up 50% above that baseline. Or are you going to put a fuel tank in there? And that's exclusive to the Panther Clipper, and no other ship so far will have that ability. Now, weaponry is a good thing as well. 2 large, 4 medium, 4 small, and then 4 utility slots. So you're going to want to have some point defense and ECM in there as well. A lot of people have been saying this is going to be a fantastic mining build as well, and I think it probably will be with the sheer capacity and amount of weaponry you can stick on this ship. This is, I think, going to be reminiscent of a good turreted build with weaponry, and as regards to mining, well, we're going to have to see how it maneuvers. It's going to be a big old lump, isn't it? You're going to have those thrusters all engineered as well, but given the amount that you can actually store, it's going to be fantastic, I think, as a laser miner. The weapons, I think, are going to be in some sort of a porcupine build, a bit Battlestar Galactica. That's what I was thinking when I was watching this whilst I was on holiday last week. You know, fit it all up with some engineered multi-cannons, throw the lead at it, see how it goes. I don't know. We're going to have to do some mathematics with this one as well and see how that weight is going to affect the jump range, because if you can't jump the thing very far, what the hell are you going to do? So the Panther Clipper is going to be available in standard and the stellar version, and judging on what was going on with previous versions like the Corsair, like the Python Mk II, like all the other ships that have come before it, the standard is going to cost about 16,000 ARX, which is about $10 US, give or take. And also, you know, the Stella's going to rock in around about 24, which is about 15, and come with, you know, a paint pack and some modules, no doubt. So we're going to see what happens when that gets launched later on in July. So, all things considered, not a terrible ship, to be perfectly honest with you. I like the look of it. I like the animations they've put on it. I want to be walking around on top of that thing, having a good look. I think we're going to see this being as some sort of a base of operations as well. I think we're going to see this in a support role. for fleet maneuvers. I think we're going to see this mining. I think we're also going to see this hauling. I think we might also see this as the new AFK build, as opposed to the Type 10. I don't know. I think only time is really going to tell on this one. But to be fair, I think it's quite good. I was quite pleased by seeing the aesthetics on the bridge tour. I think visually the Mark II is hulking, forward raked, you know, but the bridge is set dead center, rather on top, rear, that sort of thing. And I think that's going to give us a good view of the whole, whatever you survey. I think that's going to be quite good. And it gives that impression of a ship that works for a living. And I think they said that themselves, I think. I think it's really good. So, given what I think Frontier have done and what the community is saying, a lot of people were hoping for more cargo. I think it's just about right. I reckon they've got it just below what I was expecting, around about 1200. Yes, I know it's 1238 with no shields, but you know, you want a little bit of quality of life if you're going to be hauling the expensive stuff around. Hey, we're going to pause there. You let me know in the comments what you're thinking about the Panther Clipper. It's sunk in now. What do you think? Are you going to be spending the arcs on it? Are you not going to be spending the arcs on it? And I'll catch you later.